The governor of Tennessee, Bill Lee, passed a bill that removed manga from school libraries. Now, that isn't the whole law. It was specifically targeting obscene materials. What does that mean? That's a great question. Well, earlier in 2024, state lawmakers decided to expand that law. Books that must be removed from school libraries will include nudity, or descriptions or depictions of sexual excitement, sexual conduct, excess violence, or sadomasochistic abuse. And these terms are defined somewhere else in the state's code. These books are flat-out banned from kindergarten through grade 12. There is no exception, no matter your age. The Tennessee state sponsor, when asked if he believes this violates the First Amendment, all they really had to say was, not really. For reference, in 1982, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that the First Amendment imposed limitations upon a school board's discretion to remove books from school libraries. And gone are the likes of 1984, a book that speaks out against totalitarianism, Animal Farm, talking about class-based issues, Shakespeare, somehow Dr. Seuss books, I must have missed the parts where the Cat in the Hat was slamming, and of course, the prime purpose for this video, certain manga series. Now, the instructions on what to remove from libraries was so terribly vague that school libraries didn't know what to do. So, the school year started off with school libraries all around the state starting locked at the start of the school year because they didn't know what to remove. And now this brings us to how the manga got banned. A list of books from Wilson County, Tennessee, got released to the public somehow. It has been making its rounds as other schools see it as a point of salvation because it can be used as a template for what to remove from their library to abide by this state law. And they actually have a handy table right here that I can link in the description so you can look up and see what's being removed. Contained are Bleach's Volume 9, 34, and 42, the entire graphic novel Bloom Into You, Durarara, or however you say that, Volume 2 specifically, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure graphic novel, at least I think that's what GN means, right? I'm assuming. I don't know enough about JoJo's, maybe there's something else. The entirety of Jujutsu Kaisen, My Hero Academia Vigilantes 1 and 3, Parasite 1 through 8 graphic novel, the entirety of Promised Neverland, Rosario plus Vampire graphic novel, 7 Deadly Sins, the entirety of Tokyo Ghoul, and Vampire Knight, and this one specifies entire series. Some of these are some of the most influential manga or anime series on the planet, and just like that, you can't access them in school anymore in the state of Tennessee. When I found out about this, and how this has been going on for 2 years, and this specific list has been going on for, I think, about a week now, I couldn't help but notice something. Nobody is talking about this. Seriously, try and look it up on YouTube. There are no anime YouTubers discussing it. Now, I don't think people are omniscient. It's fine to not know every single thing that happens in the world, so out of charitability, I'm going to hope that they just missed it. Rev says Desu, a noted anti-censorship activist. Let's look up Tennessee. There's not a single result except for this VTuber of the Year nominee list. Nux Taku on either channel. If you look up Tennessee, you will find nothing, but, you know, he's really making sure that we know the Democrat Party just died. Thank you for your service. How about Hero Hey? Nope, just talking about censorship and Arcane, that's for sure. And DEI, but nothing in particular about Tennessee that I can find right offhand. Why are all these people who espouse free speech remaining completely silent on this issue? They're online enough to know about Sweet Baby Inc., but not to hear about an entire state banning manga from its schools. Well, I have a theory if it isn't as simple as them just not knowing about it, which is still very possible. And that's because it's not the woke left banning these books. The governor who wrote this bill is a Republican. The Supreme Court of Tennessee were all appointed by Republican leadership. The Senate is 27-6 Republican. The House is 75-24 Republican. This bill is sponsored and implemented in a unanimously red state, and in fact, the United States saw a dramatic increase in attempted and successful book bans, with a 63% rise in reported cases between 2022 and 2023. And you know where they came from? This might shock you. Republican Governor of Virginia, Glenn Youngkin, made this ad talking about book bans. Republican South Carolina Governor, Henry McMaster. And Republican Florida Governor, Ron DeSantis. Anti-censorship YouTubers have spent the better part of like 4 years whipping people into a frenzy over censorship and getting mad about puritanism because character models get censored in video games, but as soon as it comes from a group that isn't labeled wokies, you won't hear about it. Even though this isn't an instance of a corporation changing something to fit a market or something else, this is the government coming down and stopping the proliferation of materials they don't like. The Bible has excess violence, but you're telling me JJK pushes it too far? The Bible has sexual content, but you're telling me Tokyo Ghoul pushes it too far? And this is an article about Eric Welch from the Williamson County School Board talking about how this law is applied.
This new law says you don't evaluate in context the entire work, but you pull out that specific incident and you look on it as its own, which is an awful way to evaluate literature.
No matter the context, these books are removed. You were supposed to view them in a vacuum, which is crazy. And he also goes on to state something about the book Roots by Alex Haley in particular. It's been in our school library for 50 years. We have never received a parent complaint, and the Tennessee legislator just recently declared that this book right here is a Tennessee treasure. And now, it's removed per the new Tennessee guidelines. What makes it even more absurd that nobody is talking about this is that this is completely consistent with Republican leadership's Project 2025. Kevin Roberts, president of the Heritage Foundation, which created Project 2025, wrote that pornography promotes sexual deviance and recommends criminal prosecution of people and companies producing it. Here we go. Purveyors of pornography, Robert writes, are child predators and misogynistic exploiters of women. Their product is as addictive as any illicit drug and as psychologically destructive as any crime. And the Tennessean, which is a newspaper in Tennessee, actually investigated connections to Project 2025 and Tennessee lawmakers, and as it turns out, 28 Tennessee lawmakers are listed as members of an organization that signed off in support of Project 2025. God damn it. As you can see here. And links for all these articles will be in the description below as well. These people are targeting stories like My Hero Academia Vigilantes for things like depictions of sexual excitement or excess violence. If series like MHA or fucking Bleach hit these criteria, then by God, what doesn't? This is a gross overstep from the government to censor what you can and cannot read in schools. How many of you started reading manga in high school? I know I did. Actually, I think it was like middle school. I used to have that big black thick compilation of Death Note, you know the one? Now that accessibility could be taken because of increasingly vague and restrictive regulation. I just wanted to make this video to let you guys know that this is really happening. And with how Republicans signed off on Project 2025, it's possible that if you're American, your state may soon be restricting books. And this is a bad sign. And the government shouldn't be restricting manga or any kind of thing you can read. And if we truly care about censorship, this should be the thing that we're talking about. And there's nothing saying that more isn't coming. In fact, we can look at this report right now, showing how many states are banning books. If you thought the previous numbers were bad, this year we are at a little over 10,000 books banned. And it also has a handy map showing which states are doing it. Florida, a red state, is banning over 4,000 books. Iowa, a red state, is banning over 3,000 books. Texas, a red state, is banning over 500 books. Wisconsin, a swing state, but with a Republican House and Senate, is banning over 400 books. School libraries are one of the easiest ways for kids to get access to information, and this is taking away that access. And of course, maybe some information shouldn't be available in schools, like maybe we don't need a bomb-making guide on the school shelf. You could perhaps make that argument, but that isn't what is happening when you ban manga like Bloom Into You. That is a move for limiting access to information about diversity and sexuality. Now your counter-argument is, well, it's just not on school shelves. You could still find Bloom Into You on your phone. It's exactly the issue. Excessive violence, sexuality, and diversity is all over the internet, and every kid is walking around these days with an iPhone 14, so these book bans aren't done to curb access to what kids can read, because everybody knows it doesn't work. It's purely a move for narrative, because modern-day politics is ruled by populism. They get to hold up these books and go, look at what the left is making your kids read. How dare they subject your child to something as boring as Jujutsu Kaisen? And it gets people all worked up, and then they ban it, getting to look like they achieved a cultural victory and potentially limiting the access of someone's information. If this was about limiting access to inappropriate works to kids, well, the entire world is failing because of the internet. But second, who gets to decide what's inappropriate? Because right now, basic shonen violence, depictions of puberty, something as simple as a cartoon child's butt, and more are being deemed too inappropriate, not just for 5-year-olds, but for 18-year-olds about to leave high school. How far are we willing to go to protect a kid from a punch-kick merchant manga? That's all I wanted to talk about. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure you subscribe for more. You can also check the description down below to become a member, which gives you benefits like early videos, membership badges, and cool custom emotes. You can join the Discord where we talk about ReZero, Kagurabachi, Jujutsu Kaisen, and all kind of stuff. Additionally, you can go to the channel store and pick up some awesome stickers made by our channel artist, so you can carry the power of Graphia with you on your water bottle. That's about it though. Thank you for watching. See ya.